We are with Unit 6, Lesson 8, Analyzing Bivariate Data. Today we've talked about how to graph scatter plots and how to analyze a little bit more. As we look at this assignment today, please remember that graphing scatter plots do not yield out linear results, but we can use linear interpretation to be able to understand more of the data that we're given. Here in the first problem, part A, different stores across the country sell a book for different prices. The table shows the price of the book in dollars and the number of books that were sold at that price. You're supposed to draw a scatter plot for these data and labeling your axes, and then draw your graph on a paper, take a picture, and upload it. I know that's kind of tedious to do, and I personally really like to have nice graphs. So what I'd suggest is going here to the desmos.com/calculator. Click in the upper left-hand corner here and type in or click on table. And then what you'll be able to do with this is work between the two screens here. I know this takes a little bit of work, and input these data into the table. So we have $11.25. They sold 53 books. And what I'm pressing is tab each time I want to go from box to box. The next store sold 1050, for 1050, press tab. They sold 60 books. The next store sold $12.10, and they sold, I think it was 30 books. Next one was $8.45, and they sold 81 books. You get the idea. And now you might be saying, well, where's my data? I keep putting these in. Click and drag on your screen, and if you don't see it right there, just start clicking on your down arrow. And what you get right here is you start to see your data continue to decrease, and there's your data right there. And you can go ahead and figure out ways to go ahead and scroll in and out. Now here's the other thing with this is you want to make sure that you go ahead and label your axes. So click on the little wrench in here in the upper right hand corner. The x-axis we see is the price in dollars, and then the y-axis is numbers sold. Given the data that's here, price in price in dollars is the first column that's given, so that would generally be the x-axis, and then the number sold would be the y-axis because it's the second value that's there. Go ahead and enter those values here, the price in dollars. You can see down there in the lower right hand corner it's starting to show up right down here. And then for the y-axis we had books sold. Now one cool thing you can do after you get all of your data on here is you can click on this little box right here. It says share graph, and then click on export image. You can get medium square, small square, large square, medium range. Go ahead and play with it and see. I like the medium square the best. You can get some line thicknesses that are much thicker. Go ahead and play with it however you want. And then when you click on this download PNG, that will be totally fine, and it'll download into your Chromebook, and then you'll be able to upload as you go with that piece. So again, click up there, export image, download PNG. It'll download to the bottom, and then you just have to find out where, or look in your downloads, and you'll find that to be able to enter it in. All right. The next part of your question, it says, are there any outliers? Explain your reasoning. Well, look for outliers and talk about that reasoning. What makes an outlier? How do you know it's an outlier? That kind of stuff. And then says, is there a relationship between the variables? Explain what it is. And then finally, remove any outliers and draw a line that you think is a good line of fit. So anything that's an outlier on your graph, go ahead and ignore it, and then continue to draw a nice line inside your data. I'm going to leave that up to you to do that, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. But then go ahead and export that image again, or take a screen capture and upload it here in part D. The next question here, number 2, it says select all the following to describe the association in the scatter plot. Is there a linear association? Is there a nonlinear association? Just like another homework assignment, we have to separate the first 2 options from the last options. And we have to make a decision that talks about this. This scatter plot talks about the age in weeks and the weight in pounds. So if we're talking about 30 weeks old, then we're up here in the 60s. And then 60 weeks, 60s, 90 weeks, 60s. So we see there's a nice leveling off. We see growing. Maybe this will be like puppies. And I actually have 9 chocolate lab puppies that were just born. So this is kind of a cool thing. But you can look at that piece and you can see that the values go up and they go to the right. So is this a linear association, a nonlinear association? Choose one of those. and then positive, negative, or no association, choose one of those. For the last one, using the data in the scatter plot, what can you tell about the slope of a good model? Meaning, in this case right here, what can you tell about the slope of a good model is if you were to put a line of fit in here, what would that model, the line is going to be your model, what would that line tell you about these data? Once you're there, you're done. Thanks for doing your homework. Let me know how I can help. Have a great day.